guys, it's Miss Olivia. I am here this week to read you guys the Sunday school lesson. Last week, Miss Rebecca read you guys the story about Jesus going home, about him going back up to heaven. But before Jesus left, he told his disciples not to worry, that he would always be with them. And the disciples were a little bit confused. How could Jesus be both in heaven and on earth? And that's what our story is about today. We're going to see how Jesus fulfills that promise. Our story this week is called God Sends Help, and it's from Acts chapter 1 through chapter 5 and John chapter 15. Jesus' friends and helpers huddled together in a stuffy room upstairs. Even though it was sunny outside, the shutters were closed. The door was locked. "Wait in Jerusalem," Jesus had told them. "I'm going to send you a special present. God's power is going to come into you. God's Holy Spirit is coming." So here they were, waiting. Actually, mostly what they were doing was just being scared and hiding. You can't blame them. Their best friend had left. The important people and leaders were after them, and Jesus had given them a job that they didn't know how to do. As they waited, they were praying and remembering how from the beginning God had been working out his secret rescue plan. Suddenly, a strong wind filled the little room, whistling through the walls, rustling the straw on the floor, and there, on everyone's head, shining in the darkness, were flickering flames, fire that didn't hurt them or burn them. And something more. Inside their hearts, they felt a strange heat, almost as if all the coldness and hardness was melting away, as if their broken hearts were mending, and God was giving them brand new hearts, hearts that would work properly. How it happened they didn't know, but they knew God's power had struck their hearts ablaze, and Jesus himself was coming to live inside them. They had seen Jesus go away, but now he was closer than he had ever been. He was inside their hearts. And this time, nothing could ever separate them. Jesus would always be there with them, loving them, whispering the promise that would get rid of the poison and the terrible lie and the sickness in their hearts. God's wonderful promise to them: "You are my child, and I love you. Make your home in me as I make my home in you," Jesus had said. Could it be? Heaven was coming into their hearts. They threw open the shutters. Sunlight flooded the room as love had flooded into their hearts, and the little room was filled with happy noises, dancing feet, singing and laughing. They unlocked the door and surged out into the streets as if they had never been afraid. Peter spoke in a loud voice so everyone could hear. "Jesus died for you," he said, "because he loves you, but God made him alive again. He has rescued you." People stopped and listened. The world sank down deep into their hearts and worked like a medicine that makes you well, like the antidote to a deadly poison, like a kiss that wakes you up from sleep. "Stop running away from God," Peter said. "Run to him instead so he can love you and make you free." And Peter told them the wonderful story of God's love, God's never stopping, never giving up, unbreaking, always and forever love, how Jesus had come, all that had happened. There were lots of people from faraway countries in Jerusalem. They couldn't speak the same language, but as they listened to Peter, everyone could understand what he was saying in their own languages. Many people believed and became Jesus' new friends and helpers, and the wonderful news of Jesus spread like sparks from a fire to villages, towns, cities. Every day, more and more people believed. And so it was that the family of God's children, his special people, grew. One man was watching, though. "I'll stop this," Saul said. But this was God's plan, and nothing in all the world would ever be able to stop it. So that's our story for this week. Isn't it amazing how Jesus fulfilled his promise to be with us and in heaven at the same time? Jesus did that by sending his Holy Spirit to live with us in our hearts, just like in our story. I hope you guys all have a great week, and I hope to see you again soon. I miss everyone so much. Bye, guys.